So the other day I made this, a digit display hooked up to a photon connected to the internet. And this little device shows my current light level in a game called Destiny 2. If you don't know what Destiny 2 or light level is, it's basically a game I'm enjoying on PlayStation at the moment, and light level or power level is well, basically how strong my character is in the game. And this information is automatically refreshed every 10 seconds. So it fetches my current light level and shows it on the display. This thing can basically break at any time. It has no error handling. Everything is hard-coded. What it is, it's a huge hack. It's a prototype. This video is not really about the project per se, but more around the process of creating something like this. I love making hacky prototypes just like this one. I made this music controller that can control Spotify on my computer. This Instagram like notification indicator, and whenever we get a new like, this snake game, the joystick I salvaged from I think like a PlayStation 3 hand controller. I've made this Tetris game. It looks pretty crappy, but it works, and that was my goal. But it's kind of like solving a puzzle. It's like people solve crossword puzzles, I imagine. Sudoku, and you beat a game or something. The world will be exactly the same no matter if you finish the project or not, but it's just a made-up problem that is fun to solve. And I don't care how I solve the problem, I just want to solve it. And unlike at work, these solutions that I build at home, they just have to work once, basically. Whereas if you do this professionally, you would need to build something that works and works and works and never fails, or have safe error handling, and it's not hard-coded but configurable and scalable and whatnot. At home, that stuff doesn't really matter. And that's kind of what's fun about it. Back to the light counter. So it all started with an idea. Like most things, I guess. So I want to show my light level on anything. So I found this component and I was like, oh, this is a good component. So next step, can I get this information that I need, the light level, from anywhere? So I did research. Research is a very official word. I went to Google and I Googled Destiny 2 APIs. And it turns out that Bungie, the creators of Destiny 2, actually have a great REST API available for anyone. So I looked into that. When I had that down, the how it works, I started to code. So I went on to the Photon, the microcontroller. I hit a bump right off the bat. Turns out that the library I was using on the Photon couldn't do HTTPS, and the API couldn't do HTTP. So I had to solve that in some way. What I did is that I wrote a Node.js application to kind of act as a proxy between my Photon and Destiny API. So the Photon was to communicate with the Node.js application, and the Node.js application communicated with the Destiny 2 API, and then just proxy the response back to the Photon. And then I deployed this Node.js app on Heroku, and Heroku works with HTTP. So it all worked out in the end. Another problem occurred, and that was that the payload or whatever was like too big for my framework to handle. So I parsed JSON and just extracted the data that I was interested in, and then basically just passed that parsed data down to the Photon. I had my information, I had the data updating real time, kind of. The only step left was to actually display the light level onto the display. Next research step was to just Google. You find some example code, you take that example code, modifies it to work for your situation. So you pull everything together and try it out, and it works, and that's an awesome feeling. You've just hacked something together and it works in the end. By doing prototypes like this, you learn a bunch of things along the way. You might have to try new technologies, new software, new components, new languages, new platforms. And that is what is so much fun. You could just try something new just to solve a problem. I hope I managed to get some sort of point across. I'm not quite sure, but I hope that there was a point in here somewhere. Google stuff, don't be afraid of failure, solve problems as they come. I think that was about it.